Hello guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to learn on how to change randomly a page's background color by clicking on a button. So that concept is done by JavaScript, whereby we're going to target this button and then we're going to generate random colors, X colors, and then once we click on them, they're going to change the page background color. So right away, let's start by creating a variable that's going to hold those colors, the characters that make up the color. So hex colors are made up of numbers from 0 to 9 and letters A to F. So let's create that variable. So you can say hex characters. I'm going to have an array of 0 to 9. And then letters A to F. So we put them into quotes because they are strings. You can check what this array looks like by logging it out. X characters. So when I inspect it here, you can see that we have an array of 0 to 9 and then A to F. Okay, now we want to find a way of targeting every individual character in this array. So let's create a function for that. So you can say get character, then it's going to be a function. So I'm going to get a character at every index position. So I'm going to pass in a parameter there of index and then going to return an individual hex character. So you can say hex characters and then to the position of index. Okay, so if I log this out and say I want get character at the index of 6, see I've gotten 6 here because 6 is at the position of index 6 because this is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what if I want a character at the index of position 10, because now 10 should be letter A. So come and change it here and you see there I have letter A. Okay, so our function is working pretty well. So next, now we're going to create a function that is going to utilize this get character function to generate random hex colors. So we create that function and say get single color. Okay, this function will not taking any parameter, but it's going to utilize this first function that we had of get character and generate a hex color. So, and every hex color starts with hashtag. Okay, now we want colors that resemble this way. Let's say hash these. Okay, it's an example of a color. It has a combination of numbers and letters. And those letters must be between A and F. So these are 6 characters, okay? And we want 6 of them from the whole bunch of array here. So we're going to use a for loop and limit to just 6 characters from the array. So you can say index, want to loop from index 0 all the way to index is less than 6. And then going to increment index. So once we get the first 6 characters, which characters must they be? They must be random characters, or else we'll be only getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 every time, or else we'll be getting the first 6 characters every time. Yet we don't want that. We want to generate random characters from the function. So going to say let random position let's create a function or a way that we want to get a random position. So in JavaScript we have a method known as math.random. Okay, and then now since that math.random generates random numbers from 0 to 1, that's 0.1 to 0.9, we want to get random numbers from 0 to 15. So I want to multiply it by 16, but I want to hard code that because I know there's a way I can get the length of the characters here. So that's hex characters dot length, so that even if the length of the array changes anytime, it will still get it accommodated. Now math.random, as I told you, gets 0 to 0.9. So we want to get whole numbers. So to get whole numbers, we're going to round them down to math.flow. Okay, that way. So now I have my random position. So I can log out a random position to see, so that you can see how it looks like. Okay, so I can log random position like this. So you see I have now a random position. Let me console log out this. Okay, so I'm not yet at the stage where I'll target it properly. Okay, so I'm not yet where I'll use it the way I want it. So now since we have the random position, now we want to use it to get our hex color. Okay, so we want to get our hex color. So you see the hex color that we had introduced on top here, which has a hashtag only. We want to append these random characters yet. So these are just positions. So I want to append random letters to it. So I'll say the hex color. I'm going to append the get character function. I'm going to call it there, then pass it in random position that way. Okay, so now if I log the hex color, it should give us those random characters. Okay, now after that, now I want us to return this full color hex color, this full hex color here. So once we have appended the random characters from it here by using get character random position, so we want to return the full hex color like that. Okay, so I'll comment out this for now. I want to do other tests briefly. Okay, so we have our hex color returned there. So now that we have our hex color, we want to target two things. The button that we're going to click, and then the span where it's going to display the color name, and then the property of appending a background color to an element. So we'll first target the button and say let btn be document.get element by d, and thereby the ID of the button was b. So as you can see here, it is having b as the ID. What about the placeholder of the color? Is going to be held here in a span, which is ID s. So we can say let color definer come from document dot get element by d, and the ID is s. Okay, so now we want to target the button. So when I click on the button, I want to add an event listener to it. So the event listener listens to a click event, and it's going to have an empty anonymous function there, or arrow function there. So once we click on it, we want number one to change the background color of the body. Okay, so we're going to have a document.body, and then we are going to target the style of the body. Okay, and then which style are we aiming at? The background color. Then we want to change it to a random color. So right now we can define a color just inside here. Okay, and say const color to use. So the color that we want to use is going to come from the function of get single color. Going to come from get single color, then going to pass in no argument, in fact, because it had no argument here, so we're going just to call it that way. So once we call it that way, now get single color, going to use now that color here, the color that you've gotten, so color to use. Okay, so when I click on the button, it's going to change the background color of the body to whatever color that has been generated. So we want to write that color on the page also, so we want to write it on the color definer. So color definer is text content should also change to the color to use, that way. So if I click on the page now, I expect to see a color written here, and then the page background color change to that color. So you see, I've clicked on it, and then it has generated color hash 6D7785, and it's viewable there. You change it, it's 52D30A, changed that way. So that's how we make use of JavaScript to change randomly the background color of a page. So if you have any question on how the code works, feel free to ask from the comment section below. So see you